Hello, friends. We're back. Not running at a handicap. We're here making Avatar dreams come true. I hope, anyway. All right, welcome back. Episode 4, Smoke and Ashes. I have Uber coming, so I might get up here in a hot second. But before that, let's go around, introduce ourselves and our characters with awkward icebreaker questions that our lovely storyteller has prepared for us at this very second. Arnica, go ahead and start us off, friend.
Hi, I'm Arnica. Welcome to Avatar Arena Smoke and Ashes. And this week, we're going to be, we're going to have some downtime with our characters, give them a chance to get to know each other, and, us as the audience, a chance to know them a little bit better. So, in that kind of school of thought, what if I showed up at your door right now, just Magic Man is an asshole at your door instead of your food, and I had one thing in my bag to give you, and it can't be money, it can't be anything cool, it has to be something ridiculous and useless that you've always wanted. What would be in the magic bag?
Of useless,
For example,
ridiculous
something
things.
ridiculous and useless I've always wanted is a mercury glass punch bowl. I don't need the cups or anything. I want a fancy mercury glass punch bowl. What the fuck am I gonna do with it? I'm not putting no liquid in it. I don't have no parties, but I want it. Alright. So let's go ahead and go to Obi.
Hello, everybody. I am Obadiah, but today, just for you, I will be Kim Ji-woon. And
All right, that's number
in,
one.
in that bag, for him, what he really needs is a big old like Western duster. Like he's wearing it at all times. It's not helping him. In fact, he's overheating. Like inside that thing, he is sweating far too much. But he is very happy with the look, with the energy, with the ideal. He's not taking it off.
Hi. Is the question for us or for our characters?
Well, now it's for your characters. Obi went first and he said it for Kim, so it's your characters now.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing Wong, our lovely rogue today. If you showed up on Wong's very homeless doorsteps with an outrageous gift that he can't use, I think a very nice painting, just some abstract painting for him. But also, I want to answer for me as well.
Oh, by all means.
Okay. It wouldn't be for me, but it would make my partner very happy if you just showed up with some kind of gnome of any type. a gnome.
Like a King of the Hill Winklebottom.
Like a guarded gnome or anything gnome related.
Fucking fantastic. I love it. Gnomes, man. Wild. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Casey, and my character in this little fun time party is Lo Fong, the strangely skilled looking hermit to everyone else in the party. God, if someone showed up at his doorstep, he probably wouldn't trust them enough to let them give him anything. But I guess if it was going to be something ridiculous, probably just like a fancy meal. Like he doesn't like he's kind of no nonsense, but he doesn't eat fancy shit. So
steak and lobster goodness.
Yeah, give him a big old surf and turf, and
with a side of noodles.
Like, okay, do you mean something fancy, but a regular person would be like, "This is fancy, and I can't wait to eat this," or do you mean fancy like I went to they blindfolded me in the dark, and it was a seven senses meal. There were foams and
Oh no,
aspects.
just like absolutely as outrageous and over the top as possible. Blindfold him,
Oh
hold
no,
all the
Lo
stuff
Fong and the
under his
molecular
nose.
gastronomy.
They're
That's
bringing
a
a
Yeah.
Michelin star restaurant to your door.
I just
Yeah.
that could be the name of your next album, Lo Fong and the Molecular Gastronomy Experience.
Okay then. Hi everyone, I'm Val. This is my channel. I'd bring to you Kayam, our I can't fight waterbender who uproot giant trees and hits them with people. Also poop bins. But yeah, as far as like what he would like in a random grab bag of gift goodies from Saint Arnica would be oof. I think it might have to be candy corn because he could bend corn because there's water in it, but candy corn, he can't bend that shit. There's no water in candy corn. It's useless. Then he would just eat his candy corn. Myself, I would like a Keurig machine for 1 cup so I can make 1 cup of coffee instead of a whole pot, or order from McDonald's like I am right now. My Uber driver has been circling my block because he can't find my house again. Anyway, so I don't. Anyway,
Now you know a Keurig machine is useful. You
It's
know you
true.
can't get a Keurig machine. It has a use.
it has a use, but I have no room for more appliances. Oh, also, the sandwich makers that like squish your
No,
sandwiches.
The George Foreman Panini Grill?
Yes, but like,
Yes.
did you ever put leftover spaghetti and make like a pizza
No.
sandwich? I used to. I miss it. I can't eat tomatoes anymore.
But
Anyway,
to be fair, I have a I'm not a pasta person. Pasta
Fair.
and me tend to.
I am. But hey, this is a viewer affected game. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies here gives us a reroll. Every 100, every subscription you give here, which by the way, it's September, so subs are half off. Every half, blah blah blah. Every subscription you give, you can give us a +1 to our roll, which is very useful. It can turn it from a success to a failure, that kind of stuff. And then there's a donation scale that you can go through coffee, and hopefully, like, Nightbot is listening and working. I don't know, to give me my coffee link so you can donate. Let's
Doesn't
see.
look like it.
Support work.
No.
Look, there's Nightbot. At least there's my stream.
Oh, hey.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So the automatic stuff will come up with my coffee eventually. But yeah, that's all there. It's a sliding scale. $1, you can make a $1 thing happen. $10,000, you can make a $10,000 thing happen, including just getting us to stop streaming. We'll stop. We'll leave. We'll get paid. We'll order steak and lobsters and noodles for each other. Like, it'll be a great time. Yeah, that's us. My coffee's here. So I'm gonna let Arnica do her recap, and I'm gonna go get my coffee.
Go get your dang coffee.
I am.
All right. So last week was a lot. It was so much. We we threw poop on a man. It was great. It's a week later, and I'm still equally as thrilled as I was the minute it happened. We hit people with trees. Turtle doves mood.
We had quite a time. We had quite a
did.
time.
We had so much fun. It's easy to forget a lady died because lady totally died last week. I killed a nun, and what? But now we are in the middle of an escape, a great escape. Everybody's doing a good job. Padma built up a solid layer of dust, of pulverized stone, of dirt that was thrown into the air that the children gathered up on top of their big old puffy airbending cloud. They're getting you guys across, but you don't have Padma with you. Padma did stay to support her sister until Zaya died. honestly, you do not know what you do not know what's going on. Hopefully, the two of them managed to kill all of the firebenders, but if they did not, Padma was surrounded. But y'all don't know. You are way the fuck out of the way. You can't see. And you also don't have an earthbender with you. So all the little bits of dirt and dust that are falling away and crumbling away from the edge of this air platform are not being replenished and replaced. So you have had to slowly kind of get closer and closer. There's still there's enough dirt that unless something fucked up happens, you'll get to the other side on some semi-solid land. But I would not do anything to slow the children down. I would let them peloton this bitch as fast as they could if I were y'all. So,
I
knowing that you
agree.
should probably not distract the kids too much, at least the three busy ones. There are two you should maybe keep an eye on, though. What do y'all want to do?
Not drop the baby and run.
Lo Fong is taking up the rear just in case any firebenders try to get to them.
Okay. The good news is that you are definitely far enough out at this point. We are picking up. You guys have been doing this for a couple hours now. You are about 3/4 of the way there. You've probably only got like another hour in the air before you hit ground. So that's the good news. Y'all are almost there. That's why that's why your platform has managed to noticeably shrink in size, but it'll get you there. And even if you lose your dirt, the airbenders can support you in the air. It'll be a little bit harder. They'll be more tired when they land, but
Yeah.
none of you are gonna fall to your death today. Swear to God. Like you'd really have to do something terrible to fall to your death. Don't do nothing terrible. I will let you. I swear to God, I'll stand there and look all the way down. I'll be like, oh, look at that. I told them not to do that.
So hypothetically, jumping off would be a bad idea.
Hypothetically, if you jump off,
Not
I will
even
let gravity catch you.
Yeah, that's definitely
You
not
and the
even
waves
hypothetical.
can work that out.
It's not even hypothetical. Nope.
Yeah.
So you guys are keeping up a steady kind of movement forwards that you keep on top of the platform. Um, Wong, you still got the baby. The baby has settled. This baby's still butt naked.
That's fine.
But feeling fresh.
Like young children and like infants, like it'd be sooner or later before they just don't keep the clothes on anyway. So it's whatever.
They do not. In fact, this baby is really happy. Airbender babies love being naked. They really only dress them before they're 2 years old when they're taking them out in front of other people because other cultures are like, please put some clothes on the baby. And the airbenders are like, the baby likes the air on their skin. They love the air. We're smooth.
Fair. We should all live life like more airbender babies. Yeah.
It's a pleasant cultural thing. So this baby is happier than it's been in days. You're doing a great job with the baby. So Lo Fong's looking back anxiously. Wong's busy with the baby. Kayam, what are you doing?
Kayam is definitely not looking down. Kayam is just like didn't realize until this moment when they are just on that dust platform carefully walking, and you can just see them talking to themselves like, don't look down, don't like looking like this way and then like to the back of someone's head and this way to the back of someone's head just to make sure everything is fine. That's what Kayam's doing.
Safe to say Kaya might be in the middle so they can't see the ground or the very far ground.
Okay. Kayam, it's probably you're not looking down. Looking down is too far, but if you could bring yourself to look down, you would see that the 2-year-old who is really just right up under Mr. Kim, just not enough that you're tripping on her, but you are very much aware that she is trying to match the length of Kim's footprints, but she is drifting over Kayam, and every so often she's like letting her shoulder rest against you just for a minute, She's trying. She does not have the words yet. She hasn't decided if she's going to talk to you, but she is very much trying to reassure you before she runs back over to get right up under Kim's feet again.
Thanks, child.
Mr. Kim, how are you doing?
Right, so I've got to keep an eye on this 2-year-old that is adopted me. That's still don't have the full emotional toolkit to like process that. Uh, and rather than like consider that lack, instead, I got to make sure that Bao is staying on his feet. And was, last I checked on him, uh, his bruises had bruises, and I said I was gonna get him out, and I meant it.
Okay. Bao is, you know what? He's a fucking trooper. You would not think that he would be as tough as he is. He's kind of a slight dude. He's he looks like he probably got his ass whooped a lot in the Naval Academy. Like he looks like he had to fight a lot and he never won them fights. But you can tell that he definitely showed up for every one of them ass whoopings because he is putting one foot in front of the other. You are carrying most his weight, but those feet are moving. So you have a 2-year old on one side of you, on the inside of the middle, and you have Bao kind of on the outside. So you should probably keep a really close grip on him because he's towards. I won't let him fall either, but you should probably keep a really close grip on him nonetheless. Okay. So is there any conversation you guys want to have while you are safely in the air, no one to overhear you? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to do?
Respectfully, I think we're all huffing and puffing too
Mhm.
much to have a conversation.
Yeah, I
respectfully.
agree.
The conversations can wait for the when we are actually safe.
All right. Good decision making. So proud of all of you. What the hell did I just close? No, it's fine. I remember what I closed. It's good. It was my keyboard. So it takes you a little bit of time, but a good wind blows up from behind you guys, and that really assists the airbenders. They manipulate the air breeze, they get you guys to land, and from the minute your feet hit the ground, it's really quiet. Um, the animals fled a couple days ago. Some of the bigger ones are coming back, but like the little ones, like you don't hear any of the lemurs. You don't. The birds really have not started singing again. You hear a couple insects, but it's really quiet on the mountain. Um, you are off the path. The main road up to the air temple is really wide and well traveled. It's about the size and steadiness of a 4-lane highway. Like it's big because they bring supplies up and down. You got to get to the temple. It's fine. But you're on a way far off track. You are like if the road goes up to the front door, you're going to be coming in the kitchen side door. Like you're from that side of the mountain. So you are in a small clearing, probably a couple miles away. Between you and the remains of the temple is a moderate sized forest. It's not too deep, it's not too dark. You're going to be able to navigate it easily. Any animals or spirits in there are typically very friendly and used to seeing people, if not interacting with them. Once you get on the other side of the temple, the kids will be able to show you where the stables are. Um, and the best way to avoid being seen from the road. You should be fine. There shouldn't be any Fire Nation over here. What do you want to do?
What time of day was it again?
So it is now early morning because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning when everything started going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys were running all through the very latest part of the night and through the earliest part of dawn. So it's like 6, 7 in the morning. It's early.
Mm-hmm. Should we possibly see if there's anything that wasn't completely ransacked for supplies while we're at the temple before catching our air bison stables? Because we didn't get any
Probably.
supplies. Yeah, we didn't get any supplies. We were in such a hurry. If we have a couple minutes to go to the food storage, I think that might actually be a really good idea, just to make sure. Because we have no idea when it's even going to be safe to land in a town.
Yeah.
Catching my breath. Worst comes to worst, I have at least a day or two if we ration it for everybody. Actually, probably more like a day. I
Yeah.
stole some stuff, kind of ignoring Bao and pointedly trying not to like. I'm always trying to keep like one person between me and Bao, but just like not looking at him as I say I stole some stuff.
My peach
yeah.
is no longer good, and I hold up a peach, and it's just it's like, yeah, the princess has seen better days.
Metaphor?
Everything else I can dehydrate, and it'll be useful, but you can only have so many prunes before we're gonna end up like Junior over there, and I point at the baby.
It kind of edges away a little bit unconsciously.
I very consciously notice and make note of that, because that is a way I can mess with you in the future. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh God.
In regards to the supplies, maybe
Yeah.
one or two people, and not. And I like glance over at the air nomad children.
Yeah.
Lo Fong will go.
Yeah, I'll go with Lo Fong too. So.
So Ahani is going to step away from the younger children, and he's going to walk over, and he's tired, but he's got a second wind, and he's just going to look very flatly at all of you, and with a deep sigh, like deep Negro spiritual sigh, remind you that you cannot keep the secret from an airbender. All the children have heard you say that 2 of you are going to the temple, and they don't want you to go by themselves. They want to go back to the temple with you. They understand, even the small ones, everyone remembers what happened. They know that there are dead people at the temple. They have an understanding of what death is. They know the people there are dead. They also know that if they don't go with you, then you can't open the fucking door. Oh shit.
Stubborn and smart. I swear some of y'all are earthbenders.
And Ahani winks at you as if to remind you that yes, his mother is in fact an earthbender. And you guys start heading up through the forest. It's a beautiful forest. It's one of the temperate rainforests that fill the eastern mountains, and there are spirits. Normally, it's really quite full of spirits. There are lots of dragonfly bunny spirits, very gentle ones that are used to interacting with children, but there's really not too much of anything. You're seeing a couple little flickers of color here and there. One very steady kind of pinkish glow is trailing behind and to your right. It's keeping an eye on you, but it refuses to be seen. And there is something ahead of you guys. You never catch a glimpse of it, but you can hear it moving through the trees. The children do not seem particularly concerned, but they're not calling out, like trying to get their attention either. Is there anything you want to do in the forest, or do you just want to pass through as quickly as possible?
I think I'm gonna like try and carefully maneuver that 2-year-old onto my shoulders because I'm pretty sure that child has been walking for hours. You're not supposed to. That's not supposed to. You're supposed to let kids rest. That's how this works. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Yeah, she is going to be a little bit skittish at first, but if you just wait a minute if you get down on one knee and hold out your arms and just give her a minute, she will come to you, let you pick her up. She does not want to be on your shoulders, though. She very much just wants to be held. She's tired.
Okay. That's not what I expected. But I'll work with it. Or this is fun. I can handle this. We're good.
That's excellent. She will be asleep before you are out of the forest. I hope you are prepared for this because sleeping children weigh 10 pounds more than awake children. So, enjoy that. You are definitely going to be slightly more tired than you would have been if you had not picked her up, but she will be more well rested. And in an emergency, that 2-year-old can assist. So good choice. So Mr. Kim is hands full. He's got a baby in one arm, and a half dead dude on the other arm. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I think I'm just like looking at Mr. Kim because
Lo
that's
Fong
fucking hilarious.
is
You're muted now.
Yep.
Lo Fong is very, very obviously looking around and making sure that no one else is there.
Okay.
He's scouting ahead. He's looking for any signs that there might still be firebenders up here.
Okay. There are no firebenders in this immediate area. There are signs that some had tried to run through this area. It looks like they were trying to escape. Looks like they were trying to flee the temple. And while you do not see any remains, you definitely see the signs that something, but only because you're looking. Anyone walking casually through cannot tell, but since you aren't looking closely, you can see that people were dispatched and not neatly in the undergrowth.
Yeah.
So something in this forest is capable of killing a large number of trained firebenders fairly quickly.
It's a little disturbing, but I'll just quietly point out the area to everyone else and motion shh.
Wong, while everyone is doing their own thing, is also on high alert, but sticking with the group because he's still holding an infant. But overall, there's a lot of eyes going back and forth, a little jumpy. There's like a little twitch or sometimes a small jump when there's a loud snap of twigs or Lo Fong probably very quietly arrives back unexpectedly. But overall is just high strung right now.
The children are still fairly calm. And at this point, the further in you go, the more visible some of these signs are becoming. So it's obvious that at least Ahani has seen some of these signs. His demeanor has not changed. He does not seem at all worried that there is something in the forest with you that can quickly and easily dispatch a large amount of firebenders. Would you like to try to go a little bit quicker to get out of the forest, or would you like to ask him what the hell is in the woods with you and if you should be concerned?
I'm just gonna leave as is if the airbenders don't seem concerned, especially since they can hear a lot better than we can. I'm not concerned. This is more just general suspicion and nervousness.
But before they beat Bao this side of next Tuesday, did they strip him of his armor? Is he in something like uniform?
He is not in complete uniform. He does not have his jacket. He does not have his headpiece. His hair is half down. So a human would probably recognize if they got close enough that Bao is wearing Fire Nation clothes, especially military clothes, but something at a distance would have a hard time telling that he's not just a hurt person.
And so I think what I'll do next is I'll just murmur, like, just to kind of get Bao's attention, but not one thing, try not to wake up this sleeping child, and also to try not to attract too much extra attention. Do you know what killed all? Do you know who or what killed all these soldiers?
Bao. Oh, Mr. Camp. Bao, being very hurt and really tired and just focusing on putting one foot in front of the other, like the children had not really taken a very close look around. Suddenly, it occurs to Mr. Bao that he is in a really quiet forest on holy land that he helped desecrate less than a week ago. He looks and he starts to see the broken branches and the smashed bushes and the bloody undergrowth, and you can feel him start to tremble. Um, I don't know if the rest of y'all can like feel the guilt coming off of him, but the spirits in the forest can.
I probably just noticed he's sweating a little bit more. Like, his heartbeat changed. Oh.
Lo Fong understands this feeling intensely.
So gracious. All right, so as Mr. Kemp Kayam has just pointed out to you that they can hear that Bao's heartbeat has just changed and not for the better. You can feel him start to shake against you. More importantly, all of y'all can hear that there's a subtle shift to the silence in the woods. It was a la la la, nothing's happening silence, and now it's a hold the fuck up silence. It's a silence that's telling you, bet, move, it is a fuck around and find out silence.
Kayam just speaks up and goes, man, it sure is quiet around these woods.
The heck, Kayam?
What? It's quiet. Where's the birds?
Too quiet.
Janora is going to kind of drop back between all of you, and she's going to look up at you, Kayam, and she's going to say, they're angry. They're trying not to be, but they're angry. It wasn't fair.
No, it wasn't. Well,
they have every right to be angry.
Is there anything that we can do to help make them less angry?
She sighs and she thinks about it, and she says, there are things that make the spirits feel better. things that can make them feel safer, but there's not enough of us.
We might just have to settle with time being the only remedy here.
Yeah.
Let's just get to those food stores and then to our bison.
Yes, let's get moving.
Okay.
Maybe a bed or a blanket. A pillow would be really nice.
So you guys make it peacefully out of the woods. By the time you make it to the edge of the temple, you feel significantly more eyes on you than when you entered the forest. You have definitely been escorted out. And by the time you exit the trees, you have the very strong feeling that you have been escorted out and politely asked to keep your ass out. The spirits of that forest are done. The fact that you made it out is absolutely only because you were in the company of the Airbender children, and because they could tell that whatever you are doing, you did not mean any kind of malicious harm. Had any of you acted foolish, the spirit in that forest would have gone dark. It was absolutely one act of violence away from turning from a spirit to a dark spirit. But because all of you were so restrained, because you had the generosity to help a foe who was injured, to reach out to children who were frightened, and to support them in their bravery in returning home, you have personally pushed that spirit closer to balance than it was before you came.
We did a good.
You not only did it good, you have, in your own way, in this new avatarless world, although no one has confirmed that yet, you are in your own way doing the work of the avatar yourself. You are trying to put a little bit of good back in a world that has experienced a sudden evil. And if no person ever recognizes that, the spirits in this forest just did. So,
That doesn't mean they want us to come back, though.
that does not mean you are welcome back, though. Good for you. Don't come back, though.
Message heard, received, and we will not.
100%. You got it, boss.
We're good.
So you are on the very end of this, the place where the Eastern Air Temple sits into the mountain. There are actually a beautiful series of chained valleys that form something not quite like a lawn, because it's a little too steep for a lawn, but it's a lush, soft, beautiful green. This is a great place to have kids, to raise kids, to watch them playing with lemurs and baby air bison. You can tell why every air nomad made the pilgrimage here to start their family. Like, what a great place to be.
Mm.
What a terrible place to have treated the way they treated it. From behind, you can't even see the damage. There was really no one made it this far back to be attacked. The Fire Nation soldiers who were in that forest fleeing were just doing a routine sweep. Like, they didn't have to fight anyone on this back lawn. This back lawn looks like it looked a week ago. It's beautiful. And there is a back door, and you can get in it. It's just going to take a very simple, it's an airlock. Any of the kids can open it. And they do, and it will lead you into the first floor, which has a hallway with 5 doors off of it. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna ask Ahani where the food storage is.
Yeah, we don't need to poke around their home.
Mm-hmm.
We can just have them show us where the relevant stuff is.
Absolutely.
Cool. I love y'all. Y'all are so wonderful, so respectful. So
If this was D&D, I'd be murder hoboing all through this thing, but it's not.
D&D,
so...
it's like, let's kick down every single door and
D&D, like, so how many suits of chainmail armor are we getting out of this? 'Cause
Yeah.
I heard.
What do I roll for perception? Like, anyway.
So the kids take you through a series of, like, they take you through a pretty convoluted route through back rooms, some empty storage rooms, till you get to the kitchen. There was absolutely more direct ways, but they didn't want to go down the main hallways, and it's pretty obvious that those main hallways are going to be clogged with bodies. Like, you don't even have to ask. So you follow them through these back halls. There are a couple. You see a couple. Every time you come across a corpse, either a Hani or Janora, regardless of whether they are Fire Nation or Airbender, goes over, closes their eyes, and marks a little air sign, just runs their fingers over their forehead, little air sign, gives them the exact same blessing, friend or enemy, and just keeps going. They don't say nothing. Like, they're being little fucking bosses. It only takes you about 10 minutes to get to the kitchen. And when you do, the stores have not been spoiled. There's no meat because airbenders are all vegetarians, but there's a variety of dried fruits, dried vegetables, beans. Stores are there and they are plentiful. There was enough to feed hundreds of people. Take what you need. What do you want to do in the kitchen?
Well, let's we should grab some stuff that's not as perishable.
Yeah.
And find something to carry it in. And if they've got any like portable prep tools that we can bring with us, we might as well take those as well. So like any pots, couple stirring utensils, that sort of thing.
Load up some
Janora laughs.
Picnic baskets.
Yeah. Janora laughs, and it is the first time you have heard her laugh since you met her. Because she's going to look at you and say, "We're air nomads. We have portable things." She thinks you're very funny now, Lofong. You have fallen on your ass, and you asked if nomads had camping supplies. Like, I think you are the funniest man on the planet.
So
I'd also like to look for anything that could be used to feed the baby. So whether, I don't know how old the baby is, so if there's, I don't know, goat cow milk or something that could be used like puree.
Okay. So, as you guys are searching, you see a couple different things. Yes, there is absolutely. Airbenders have a formula supplement. Not everybody can do what they need to do. They actually have. I know. I'm moving my camera all around. My leg went numb, which meant I had to switch everything. Sorry. Okay. They have a formula supplement. It is made from condensed bison milk. I don't know. It's made with condensed bison milk and sugar. They have big jars of it. So you can go ahead, you can start warming up a bottle. It keeps, you can bring it with you. You can pack that up for the baby. Kayam, is there anything in particular you're looking for in this extensive pantry?
You know, all of this produce, Kayam is very excited. Definitely for the sake of convenience, root vegetables like carrots, yams, potatoes, radishes, that kind of stuff. Any kind of fresh fruit. If there's cabbage, that would be dope as well. But that's just for his personal use. For everyone else, like,
I'm sorry, this cabbage is for personal use.
While Kayam's like rummaging around to get their own vegetables, I want to give them, and I'm like, getting the formula, putting it inside baskets. Kayam, how far is this location you wanted to go or go to?
It is in the... What is the name of this? And I look at her, I look at you and go, it's in the Foggy Swamp.
And how far is that from here?
Out of character, Lee, how far is that from here?
The Foggy Swamp is literally half the world away.
It's half the world away.
It is halfway between where you are and the Fire Nation.
Yeah.
It's half the world away.
It's half the world
on the
away.
South Coast.
Yeah.
I inhale and I sigh and I put like 4 more bottles of formula in my basket. Okay, great.
I sort of stand up, cucumber in hand, and just be like, but I can assure you the likelihood of anyone being found there is 0 to none. And if they do find us there, they're not getting out.
Do I dare ask why?
The swamp takes and it gives.
More angry nature, love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You saw what I did with that tree? The whole swamp.
And swamps are a little more dangerous than solid ground.
Yes, they are. It's okay. There's boats.
Great. I need to go back.
Wong seems less than thrilled at going into a swamp.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if it takes and doesn't always give us back, I have valid reason.
But I mean, considering that it is incredibly humid and damp, firebending is very, very hard. And I look over at Kim when I say that.
Lo Fong is going to look for any first aid medical supplies.
Okay, there are not.
Kim just kind of blinks at you, like I don't. We have a need. I do.
There are no first aid supplies really in the kitchen, other than just the very basic band-aids and stuff you'd keep for a real quick. Oh shit! I cut my finger.
Do they have finger condoms? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because they're a temple. They have an entire medical wing. There are medical supplies. There is an entire little nursing area a couple floors up. You'd have to get there, but there are medical supplies to be taken if you would like.
Well, I ask one of the kids to lead me there so we can get some.
All right. Janora will escort you 2 floors up to the. What is my brain today? What is the goddamn word? To the medical wing. Jesus Christ. She takes you through as many back areas as she can. There are a couple times that you do have to cut through main hallways. It's just the 2 of you. She's not worried about the little kids. Mm-hmm. And she's not real concerned that, what if Lo Fong has never seen anything like this? But Lo Fong, even with all your experience, bro, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You have never, not this many bodies, not this many that were that small. There are pregnant women. There are children. She tells you not to look into a room that you walk past. She tells you not to look in the room. Do you look in the room?
I mean, yes, he does.
She is leading you past the nursery. Like you have never walked past a maternity wing that has been done. No one has ever seen what the Fire Nation has done. No one has ever done what the Fire Nation did on that day. But she takes you to the furthest part of the medical wing where all the supplies are. There are bandages. There is healing water from the northern water tribes, because while they do not have a waterbender there full time, quite often their healers and water tribe healers would speak back and forth. They would send people back and forth for emergencies. So
Yeah.
there is magic water in case you want to grab it for Kayam. There are bandages.
Yes.
There's
Yeah, he'll grab an assortment of supplies and as probably mostly that water because he's seen that water in action. He knows what it can do. So grab a bunch of the water and then some bandages and maybe a couple ointments if they've got them. You know, the typical stuff.
okay. They have a special travel bag that they're used to packing for their air nomads. Janora has obviously she tells you shyly that she was thinking that maybe one day she would grow up and work in the hospital wing when she grew up. She thought that that seemed nice. Um, she was going to go to the Northern Temple to study there for a little bit so that she would be closer to the Northern waterbenders. She wanted to be a doctor when she grew up. And she tells you all that and it explains why her hands are so fast and how easily she packs this travel bag for an air nomad. It takes you guys about 15-20 minutes to get everything together, but you make it in and out no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Kim, is there anything in particular you're looking for in the kitchen?
I'm gonna appropriate a couple of knives here. I might have to get a little bit creative, and firebending wasn't the only way I was trained to defend myself.
Okay. I mean, there's some knives, but here's the thing: everybody here, they do not cook meat. There's nothing really set for filleting. There's nothing set for skinning. There's a couple big, heavy cleavers for bashing through, heavy roots, and there's some filleting knives, but there's not really anything very helpful. I wouldn't want to have to fight with the knives in this kitchen, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, you still need knives to cook vegetables, but they don't need multi-purpose knives in this kitchen.
Right? You need a big chopping knife and you need a peeling potatoes knife, and that's all you need. You need potato knives and pumpkin knives, and that's what they got: potato knives and pumpkin knives.
That's a real shame, but there's nothing for it. I'll with any luck, we'll be able to mug somebody on the way, and maybe we'll make this work. We'll see.
How many knives do you need?
Enough. Okay. I didn't get to train with these as much as I would like. Can't have calluses.
All right, sure.
Okay. So as you are rummaging through, looking for knives, there's a pretty good cleaver. It's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit big, but it's sharp and it's fairly new. It's in good repair. And there's one fairly small paring knife that's actually really quite sharp. You could make do with it if you had to. There's also some candy. And you're not even, just as you are opening the door, you're just opening cupboards looking for knives, and this child on your shoulder has slept through every word you've said, every step you've took, every cupboard you've opened is shut. The second you open that candy cupboard, she opens her little ass eyes. Candy, it's the first thing she said. She goes, Candy.
She catches him like mid putting it back because he was like, oh, I don't need cake.
You better get that candy.
Maybe you should eat some candy so your attitude improves and is a little sweeter.
I could use some candy right now. I'm not gonna lie, my blood sugar's
and as he is like handing this child the candy, like looks back. Are you still mad I stepped on your head?
was that? You stepped on my shoulder?
Like way back when
Session 1.
yeah. Like when Woong felt like I came like stepped on his head. It's like, is that? Are you still mad?
No, you're just very pretentious and could use a bit of an improvement. Anyway.
What do you mean pretentious? It's supposed to be like this.
Just give you a look. Like how can you be this dense look before finishing packing up like the bottles and like some miscellaneous, like bread and some more vegetables and stuff like that. Spices. I grabbed spices.
Yeah, you better get that cayenne. And that turmeric. I just give Kim a pat on the back. It's like, it's okay. You're about to see a lot more of the world.
So while you have all been kind of going through, some of you making some really great supply choices, some of y'all picking some weird ass shit.
Listen, I dehydrated a lot. I dehydrated a lot of fresh fruit so that we can have trail mix last us longer, but also kept us some fresh fruit. So
they make incredibly
Trail mix.
intelligent decisions.
Yeah.
And then we have someone just pilfering knives.
No.
Looking at all of you, and without saying a word, has just started making breakfast.
Are there eggs?
They have gone ahead. They know where everything is. They've heated up the stove. They are in the middle of cooking. They've got Sami sat down with some juice. They're cooking for the kids. They're making enough for everybody to eat. But it is obviously time for y'all to stop kind of rummaging around, sit down and eat, because he's laying hot food out. There's some porridge, there's some eggs, because they're vegetarians, they're not vegans. So, there's some eggs, there's yak butter, it's bison butter. Butter.
So good.
Ew, bison butter.
Bison butter is just another type of cow. It's fine.
I know. They're so hairy.
It's fine.
They're so hairy.
Listen.
I'm fine.
I think after once Hani starts making making breakfast, I think I find a high chair or I put the baby in it and just realize everything's catching up with me, and I just collapse into a seat, put my head on the table.
I'm 19. I'm not going to crash for another 3 hours.
You're fine.
Okay, good. I hope that's true, because you've been giving a 2-year-old who ate all day candy. So I hope you really got all that energy. Okay.
Don't worry. The consequences of my actions will never catch up to me. I run too fast.
Oh, I was expecting him to say it at the end of that
Oh.
sentence.
It reaches the side. So
Sometimes you gotta leave him
Lofong,
waiting.
By the time you and Janora get back, everyone is seated at the table. There's porridge, there's some eggs, there's food. Go ahead and help yourself. You guys should probably come up with a more solid plan now that you are in a safe place. There's a roof over your head, at least for the time being. There's a chance to get a couple more things. The kids will probably slip away at some point, grab some stuff that's important to them. If there's anything you want them to grab, let them know. But now is a really good time to plan before you guys leave the air temple.
You need more than one bison. I don't exactly use these.
How many of us are we? We've got 4 of us, and how many of them? 5.
They're
4?
2 or 2.5 people when you weigh them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5 if you include our soldier boy there.
Oh yeah, that's right. How long is he sticking around with us? Kind of saying, not looking at him.
Not leaving him to die, if that's what you mean.
No. We probably want to drop him off somewhere safe, somewhere where he can find a place to settle down away from the Fire Nation.
Yeah, you fucked up, buddy.
Bal looks at you. He's been doing the Avenger shawarma eat, just head in hand, just the steady mechanical thing. And he looks up at you just half through his eyes and he said, I fucked up days ago. This was not my mistake.
Well, your life just got a million times harder. Good
He
luck.
shrugs and keeps eating.
We can send him to Ba Sing Se.
I got people. I'll take care of him.
Or, let him make his own decisions.
Yeah.
I made a promise. I'm going to keep it.
Regardless. What's the game plan? Rest up a couple hours, head out.
How secure are we from the Fire Nation? Because they probably know that we're coming this way.
Would the Fire Nation have to get through the forest to get to the temple?
No, but the Fire Nation would have to get all the way down the mountains on the Earthbender side of the chasm, cross the ocean strait between the two mountains, and then climb the entire mountain range.
Okay.
It's a 2-day journey from
That's
where they are to where you are.
2-day journey. Got it.
That's why you guys ran
Gotcha.
across the chasm.
Got it.
You're
Okay.
good.
So if we have time, then instead of just taking a couple hours, we should at least make the kids get a full night of sleep.
Sounds good. I mean, I could also use a full night of sleep.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I will not complain.
Want to try to get the bisons before? You want to try to get the bison before or after?
I'd rather the bison be okay. We're ready to go. There's our bison. Let's pack up and leave.
We need to try to retrieve those bison sooner rather than later.
I'm pretty sure the Ahani and Janora can handle the bison once they've eaten and rested. I also don't want to venture too far into the temple just because I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't want to see more.
As soon as we're ready, I'm fine just leaving and not looking back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at the table, the little ones are nodding. At this point, Sami has put his head down. His hair is in his food. Like, he has oatmeal in his hair now.
Oh,
He is
baby.
asleep at the table, food in his hair. He's out. I don't care where you guys move him. You will be able to wash oatmeal out of his hair. He is not waking up. That baby is asleep. Mr. Kim, yours will crash within an hour or so, but right now, congratulations, she has reached the point where she's sick of being overstimulated on sugar, but she's not done being overstimulated on sugar. She keeps jumping out of your lap to run around the table, to whine because she's tired, to want you to pick her back up, to jump out of your lap. She has been doing this for 10 minutes now.
He's annoyed, but he doesn't know enough about kids to not continue to spoil this one.
Congratulations, you're a dad.
I mean, he was a spoiled kid, so that's how he knows how to treat kids.
She wants it, so that means I have to do it.
No, that's not how it works. That's really not how it works.
Ahani looks at you and grins. That's exactly how it works. You're doing a great job, Mr. Kim.
I think if he goes to give more candy, I'm snatching that shit. I will confiscate all the candy.
When Ahani says that, that's probably the first time any of you actually hear Lo Fong laugh.
God, don't encourage
that actually makes
this.
him jump a little bit.
So there are guest rooms scattered through various parts in the temple. There are places where, say when all the temples need to get together, if multiple people need to work in the kitchen in shifts, there may be down rooms. There is a down room off the kitchen. You guys do not have to go exploring through the temple to find a place to sleep. There are some cots, like a fireman's break room, at the very far back behind where the ovens are. Or if you would like, you can risk taking a look through the temple if there's anything you really think you'd like to find before you guys rest.
Nah, I think those cots and guest rooms are probably the best.
Yeah, I
options.
agree.
Yeah. I think definitely whatever nearby guest rooms for cots I would like to rest in. And also, like, when we're done resting in them, getting like the blankets and the
Mhm.
pillows.
Okay. So the Ahani will lead you guys to that back room. Everyone will settle down, and the children are out. Even Janora, within a couple minutes of laying down. These are not the most comfortable beds you've ever been in, y'all. They are not lush and plush and luxurious. These are not silk sheets. Like, they're not even brushed flannel. It's warm. It's not like you're laying on cold stone with no blankets, but you can definitely also tell that this is a monastery.
Yeah.
Like, nuns live here. They're like, you can be comfortable, but you don't need to be luxurious. Get up and go to work. But the kids are out. Like, this is the best bed in the world. And if you are sore enough, it sure as shit feels like it. Everybody go ahead and roll for me real quick. Just roll a number. I just want to see who has the highest number, who has the lowest number.
So like a
Just
D6?
a D6.
Yeah, just roll a d6 for me.
What? Wow. Okay.
happened?
I mean,
And I just
Well, looks like the two of you are rolling again.
How did we? I don't know what happened.
we both rolled a 6 and they both rolled a 1.
Oh, okay. Whoopsies.
Okay.
I got a 6. Okay.
Oh, roll again.
All right.
A 5. There you
6.
go. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, Mary, you got a 6. So, Wong wakes up first. Or does Wong even get some sleep? Does Wong just lay there? Anyone who rolled a 1, your ass went to sleep. You went nights.
Oh no, there was no argument for me there.
You were full of oatmeal, and that bed got real comfortable to you. But
I think what happens is, like, I've been like on my own for a long time, for several years right now. So I don't think I usually conk right out. It's always this very light sleeping. So if there's anything that wakes me up, I'm up. So I get rest and everything, but it's easy for me to be ready and up so I can, like, if I was on the streets and I had to bolt because there's a patrol coming, I would know. So probably up first regardless.
okay. So as you wake up, you notice that Sami's bed is empty. The 5-year-old is not in the room with you guys.
But
Oh,
everyone
boy.
else is.
Yes, everyone else is in the room. Everyone else is sleeping. You guys are way far back in the temple. You are very much safe. Everyone is sleeping the sleep of someone who knows that there's at least 24 hours between them and danger.
In that case, I'll quietly groan out of bed and stand up. Maybe like one shoulder cracking as I do so, before listening, checking the cot Sami was in, and then heading outside the room and just like listening to see if I can hear him.
Okay. So why don't let's have you rely on your skills and training to see if you can hear him. So go
Rely
ahead,
on
roll with
skills and
focus, please.
roll with focus. Full success.
Cool. So you listen carefully and you can hear, like, he's not crying. You're not you can't tell what sound he's making at first, but you can definitely hear a little voice coming from out towards the main hallways.
I'd like to make my way that way.
All right. So as you make your way out towards the main hallway, you're going to see that Sami, I mean, he definitely looks like he slept. So it's not like he's been doing this the whole time the adults were sleeping. You guys don't have to feel like, oh my God, we all went to sleep and the baby's been doing this. But at some point, he got up and he has gone to one of the rooms and he has a big pile of blankets. And he is dragging sheets and blankets and kind of dropping them over people. He does not know any of the rituals that Ahani and Janora know. He's not old enough. So he's just covering up everybody. He's covering up Fire Nation, he's covering up Airbenders, he's covering everybody.
He's 5 and he's carrying these heavy, probably thick wool blankets. Not pretty, but effective wool blankets. So I'm not even going to say anything, but I see him struggling, pulling some of these blankets, and I'm just going to wordlessly help him.
Okay. He is going to give you like a big smile. He genuinely appreciates it. He does not say anything, but between the two of you, there's like 20 bodies between y'all and the front door. And that's the area that he's trying to cover up. He's covering up a path for you guys so that you can take the most direct way to the front door. And at the end, when he opens the door so that fresh air can come through and clear out the smell that everyone has been not saying anything about, but
I
as it
ruffle
starts
his head.
blowing, it's rough. He's gonna look at you and go, "Thank you."
Yeah, I'll just ruffle his head.
And he's also going to say, "I'm going back to bed now," and he wants to be picked up.
I'll bend down, I'll pick him up, and we'll go back.
All right, so the second you get him in the cot, he's out. He's back asleep. Kayam, you rolled a 5. Does the sound of the two of them coming back in the room wake you up?
Sure. I was probably just starting to linger at the edge of my sleep cycle anyway, so I wake up hearing them come in, and I just sort of like roll on my side without getting up. Because, I mean, if everybody else is asleep, why do I have to get up?
I think I make note of you rolling over, but I'm not about to go back to sleep. So just one glance around the room before heading back to the kitchen, and honestly just putting on some hot water to make some tea. Make a big pot for everyone for when they wake up.
Just that Kayam takes a long time to wake up. It's just like, full hour. Okay. Ooh, tea. Great. I like tea. Gets up. Does a cat and cow. Then a hip flexor stretch. And then, just sort of steps over children gingerly. Hi. Is there tea?
I'm in the middle of pouring the hot water, and then I'll just take another like clay mug and put it down in front of you.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks.
Sleep well.
Oh, I slept like crap. But it was
Hard.
sleep.
Hard cots and floors will do that too.
Yeah, I've slept on many a surface before, but this is why I'm not a nun.
Honestly, the cots are better than the ground sometimes.
Sometimes, but have you ever just laid in a bed of moss before?
Yes.
The moss is great, and it's
a little
usually on the
damp
ground.
And sometimes it's damp.
Do you have an issue with dampness?
When I want to stay dry, yes.
Cool.
But it's better than rocks.
So Lo Fong can chi block.
Was I there for that?
No, you
can't
weren't.
remember.
Like, I'm just leading in and telling you this. Like,
Gossip,
just straight up starting the gossip now.
That's terrifying.
Right,
But
I'm so
useful.
glad he's our friend.
Honestly, I am very impressed with his skills, and I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Though friend's a strong word. I'm glad he's not our enemy.
Oh, we're not friends?
I've known you for a day and a half.
Come on, when you're
Not
a kid,
even.
Come on, that doesn't take that long to make friends.
What's my favorite color?
Your favorite color? And I look you over for a second, and I go, black.
No.
Okay, that was a good guess. Are you lying to me?
No. I'm not.
I mean, you're wearing, earth drab. Normally people wear their favorite color, right? Like, it's a thing. But you are wearing earthbender garb or earth nation garb.
Common clothes.
Yeah, you are. But this year, I don't know a lot of earthbenders with eyes like yours. They are very nice, as I have said before.
Earth Nation's pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge. I've been literally everywhere to it. My mom's an anthropologist, and I traveled with her into four niches, studying some people, meeting some people, things like that. Yeah.
I kind of top off your tea and a little more. You should drink your tea before it gets cold.
Oh, that's okay. I can always reheat it.
And I think I take my cup and stand up because I'm like partially done. But Kayam's a little nosy.
That's totally nosy. He's so nosy.
I'm gonna finish packing up and making sure we have everything.
Is there any sugar?
Make sure it's not gonna fall off of the air bison when we fly.
Oh yeah, that. Oh shit, we have to fly on an air bison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Last thing we need is vegetables flying off.
I
not
could
timed
catch
down
them.
correctly.
It's fine. I could just catch them.
Okay,
and
fine.
so, on that hilarious note of Long trying to pack like a regular adult and Kayam trying to contemplate catching fruit midair off an air bison, why don't we go ahead and head to break? And we will be back in like 10 minutes or so.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. We'll see you soon. Bye.
We'll be back.
Bye.
See ya. Hello, we have returned. Things are back. We're back.
We are back. We are.
Yeah, we did this thing, and now we returned. That means we're back.
Yes.
I keep interrogating Wong. I'm gonna interrogate all of you at some point.
You're prying into his eyes, and that's weird.
What? They're really nice amber colored. Like, what
They
can
are.
I say? It's very unique among Earth people.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The reason he doesn't question Kim Ji-woon with his blue eyes is that he knows crime families like to multi-mingle, right? Like, see if those genetics get into the family. You know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you got a little waterbender in you, a little southern tribe, maybe you're not completely useless during a full moon.
Also, he's Kim Ji-woon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is true.
What are the phases of the moon, by the way, right now?
Please, no eye prying teams.
In the game right now, it is we're on the waxing.
Gotcha. Cool. Cool.
All right. So it's just Wong and Kayam awake in the kitchen right now. Everyone else is pretty soundly asleep. Kayam has made some very pointed overtures about the beautiful color of Wong's eyes. Wong has sidestepped it gracefully as a bull in a china shop, which actually is very graceful. Bulls hate knocking shit over. They're like, and what? Look at me and my beautiful little dainty feet.
It's just also really awkward because it's partial nosiness, but it's also kind of semi-flirting, and it's just like,
why? Oh, listen. Kayam was charming as fuck when it happened, right? Give that sly little wishy Bishonen grin at you, like, absolutely. It's like, I just came out of a boy love manga. Hey!
They are very cute. But also, we just had a traumatic experience. It can wait.
It's the best time for this is after traumatic experiences.
Emotional rebound.
Okay, so Wong, you could always try to distract Kayam by pointing out where you were.
Nope.
Oh, that's a great way to see if you can get him off the top of your eyes.
Awkward ignoring, trying to pack all this stuff away. So, like, you know, putting the baskets, making sure they're tied down, or like secured, double checking that we have everything, making sure I have everything in my pack. So that means going back into the sleeping room.
Yep. And I think at one point, like, after, like, the first cup of tea and the little bit of caffeine sort of kicks in, Kayam has a world map. He travels to sort of, like, pull out and is going to be trying to essentially mapping out the best route if their plan is still to make it to the Foggy Swamp, with also, like, possible places for them to stay, like villages and towns for them to stay at that would be safe to stay out, places that air bisons can hide, that kind of stuff. Like, he is incredibly well traveled. It is part of his background that, especially in his older years, he traveled a lot with his mom. So
okay, so Kayam has the map out. They're plotting through. There are a variety of towns and areas. Between you and where you are going, there are. Scroll down. Don't treat me like this. Why would you do such a thing? Because my number locks off. That's why. Yeah, yuck it up. You won't run into a Mashu, but there are at least 2 small towns that you can stop in. There is. Here's my map, number 13. So there's Gowling is a space between where you are and where you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, you'll fly over the sea since you'll fly over at least the edge of the Seawong Desert to get back.
Mm-hmm.
There is where's that damn little oasis that Aang and them stopped at? Maybe that is Gowling. Maybe that's the oasis.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. So there's Gowling, the oasis town. Um, and there's a couple little unnamed enclaves. And you can always, if need drives, head down or up. But the most direct way
Mm-hmm.
is the route to Gowling to the Foggy Swamp.
Yep. There's kind of a heavy sigh because this is definitely a long journey with a bunch of children, but at the same time, it's like anywhere else in Kayam's mind is not safe enough. Because it's there and you don't there's just a sneaking suspicion. It's just like if anyone just has enough money, there are people in the Earth Kingdom that would turn these children in. Like,
Yeah.
kind of thing for the right price. So the idea of going anywhere else is just not acceptable for him. And is definitely going to argue against any other idea. And let them know that it is a bad one if any suggestions are made. Like,
As you're like poring over the map and I'm just like meandering back and forth, just kind of like look over your shoulder and kind of like, I'm assuming you've like maybe like pointed out or it's like on your map where.
oh yeah,
your
I've got
head is.
little X's and stuff. Yeah.
I just kind of like poke the Eastern Air Temple location and then the location where we're heading.
Mm-hmm.
At least a lot of time will be carved off since we're flying.
Very true. We do have to keep in mind that air bisons are also very noticeable, so we'll have to have spaces where we could keep them, and I hate to say it, but before we get into the swamp, somewhere where we can release them. There's no way an air bison can make it through.
That's something you're gonna have to talk to the kids about.
I will.
They're
Closer,
not gonna agree.
like I said, we can find a place for them. And if we can find a place for them that they might have access to at some point, that could help. But you have to be able to literally move the foliage to get to this place.
That's a conversation you're just gonna have. They're stubborn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not going to be
Luck.
it's not going to be a conversation. It's going to be me telling them this is how it'll be. Or they can't go.
Like I said, good luck with that.
Oh, I'll be very honest with them.
Turn back around. See if anyone else is awake yet.
Okay, so back in the room, let's go ahead and Mr. Kim, Lo Fong, how y'all feeling? Y'all still sleeping good or are you starting to wake up?
How long has it been?
It's been you guys have managed to clock like a solid 6 hours by now.
About what time of day is it?
It's like 4 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, no, I tell up. If anything, like a little. I feel like a little bit antsy because sun's still high.
Yeah, Lo Feng's back awake after 6 hours.
Look, sleepyheads! Welcome to the world. Have tea.
Yeah, Lo Feng just nods and
Sorry
Goes
if it's
over
cold.
and
It was
sits
made a
down.
while ago.
It's fine. I can reheat it.
Okay, so Bao has come out with you. He has taken a seat a little bit further down the table. He is also reheating his tea just by holding it.
Lo Feng drinks cold tea.
Fog.
Do you want me
Here.
to do you want me to reheat that?
Also, just make a fresh cup.
Oh, we're trying to show off, though, Wone. Stop ruining it for us. Trying to show off. Like,
There's no one to impress.
Perfectly
there are
polite
at
to reheat
least
somebody.
4 adults here to impress. Just because
Perfectly
you're
polite to
not
reheat somebody's
impressed.
tea for them.
Reheated tea, especially if it's been steeped too long, tends to taste bitter.
That's because you burn it. Listen.
Some tea, even when it's not burned, if it's been steeped too long, tastes bitter.
That's right. Listen, all I'm saying is there are other ways to heat water than with fire.
There's other ways to hurt water.
Yeah. Watch. Let me show you. I just want to show you something cool. Can I just show you something cool? Am I
Fine,
not
show
allowed
me
to show
something
cool
cool.
things? Okay.
Fine.
Watch. Okay, cool. Watch this. All right. So, and I pull like a bowl of like just water towards me. So, how does fire heat and boil water? What happens? How does that happen? Class? And look at everyone.
Heat, transfer heat.
Right. But what does the water do?
Boils.
Yeah, right. It moves faster. And it's not the fire that makes it warm. And as I'm talking, you just start seeing the water just start to move faster and faster and faster. It's actually the friction of the water particles moving against each other that make it heat. And it just starts getting faster and faster and faster before like steam starts to like spew from it. And the complete opposite is when it just slows down and it just like suddenly slows down and it like freezes. When everything moves slower, it gets cold. Science!
Wong just looks unimpressed.
That's okay. Lo Fong looks really impressed, and that's who I was going for anyway.
Yeah, he's a little impressed.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he's not a bender, so he can't do that. So
now you actually have a cup of rice, and I just hand it to you. Like, cool. Now you can get Kim to reheat your water for you.
like he looks like is this? And like he actually like kind of has to focus on it because like, he can't just like if he just like turns up the heat, he's just going to boil off all the water. Now this is going to be a project.
You two do know. I look at Kim Ji-woon and Bao. You know you're not gonna. You know you shouldn't be bending once we hit other towns while we're traveling, right?
Why?
I just gotta look at you. Maybe because the Fire Nation is on everyone's shit list right now. They have been making their way across the Earth Nation, basically terrorizing people, and not to mention they just murdered an entire temple of nonviolent airbenders. Do you really think they're going to have any nice words to say to you? This is a suggestion for your safety.
I defend myself
against a whole town of angry mob.
If that's what it has to be.
Against innocent people who have a right to be angry.
A right to be angry at me?
They're not going to see it that way just because you didn't do anything. Your nation has hurt a lot of people.
Yes, it has. And
you won't have to fight them if you keep your head low.
I am Kim Ji-woon.
No one gives a flying bison fuck about you because most people don't know who you are. So your name will get you nowhere.
In fact, I would even argue that your name might actually get us in trouble because it is a known fact that Kim Ji-woon is now a traitor to the Fire Nation.
Kim Ji-woon has betrayed no one.
You just went against what the Fire Lord decreed. That makes you a traitor.
Bao is going to look down the table at you, and if nothing else, really gets to you, the severity of this, Mr. Kim. Let the look on Bao's face, that sympathetic, no, sir, we are really in trouble look. If nothing else hits you, let that one hit you. This man he knows exactly who you are. You are from the same area. You are just about peers. You're a little bit higher in social standing than him, but not by much because of how militaristic the Fire Nation is. You guys are about peers. You really understand the look he's giving you. No, you are both fucked.
And if your name or your attitude gets me in trouble, I will not assist you. You can deal with your own problems and the consequences of them, because I will leave you.
Under the impression I've ever expected anything from you.
I'm glad we see that.
Wonderful. If you're going to continue to talk to me like this, save yourself the breath.
If you keep acting like that, expect it.
So when water moves really, really, really fast, inside of your body, your temperature goes up. And
All
y'all
right.
are really hot right now.
Like, now hold on. Let's not threaten to boil our friends because they're fighting.
No,
you know
I'm
what?
saying that they're already boiling right now.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
are tension. Everything is just really. It's not good for your body to be this tense. Everyone, like,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of oils and fluids that just go through your muscles that make you stiff.
Like, Kayan, Wong's body temperature is actually pretty warm right now.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
water, the water.
Yeah,
Fine.
and
There are exercises. I'll calm down.
yeah,
Won't
there
be a
are
problem.
plenty of stretches and muscle relaxants and all kinds of things. But also you just don't want that much pressure, like, going to your brain.
I've been under pressure my whole life. It's fine.
I'm trying to calm things down, friends. Like, let's take a moment right now and really think about this for a second. We have a whole bunch of children that are dependent on us. And that's the reality of it. And the thing is that, like, the last thing that these kids need is to see the 4 somewhat mature adults around them, 5, sorry about, arguing about attitudes. We need to set an example, right? Right. We have to be on the same page here to make sure that we get them there wherever they need to go safely, right? And we can't do that if we got sticks up our asses about each other. Come on, that's just, 1, uncomfortable, 2, like, we're gonna need to figure out a way to get along, is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm fine. I get along with all of you. I think you were all fantastic and great. Like, no problems here whatsoever. From me, I can see you all to success. But we gotta be adults and talk like adults and communicate like adults if we're gonna accomplish this goal, right? Can we at least agree on that?
Just to keep any more fights from popping up. Sure.
Thanks, Wong. You're so nice. We appreciate you. What about you, Mr. Kim Ji-woon?
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have to worry about Lo Fong. Look at this. Look at this sturdy tree of a fella. And I reach over and, like, pat his chest. It's like...
Lo Fong's just sipping tea with his eyes closed and is oblivious to the world right now.
Like, he is...
Let's all be like Lo Fong.
He is a pillar to the testament right now. Okay? Just pillar to calm and serenity right now. Prime example for these young children. And I'm the only one who knows how to heal y'all, so I'm just saying, That would be nice to me.
Okay. So while you're all being absolutely ridiculous, the children wake up and join you. Ahani has cleaned up the two little ones. That the tiniest one has a diaper on again. They've they're dressed. At some point, Ahani has maybe they keep spare clothes in those guest rooms. Maybe when no one was looking, he went up a back set of stairs that you weren't paying attention to. But either way, they're wearing clean clothes.
Are they
They're
wearing
not.
clean airbender clothes or clean regular like Earth Nation clothes?
They are. They are not wearing temple clothes. Some of them will be identifiable as earthbender clothes. I mean, as airbender clothes if they get close enough. But it's not like, ooh, they did not go put on their saffron travel suits. It'll be like, yeah, but we trade. You could reasonably argue that you traded for air nomad made clothes. They can pass. But you should probably get them in better clothes later. But for now, no one's around.
Ahani's got the tattoos, right?
Ahani has the tattoos, so like the clothes are the least of your worries with Ahani.
Yeah. Like Lo Fang's just kind of like standing there, arms crossed, looking down at him. It's like, we have to cover those. And he just like points at the large blue arrow on his head.
Lo Fang, unless you are particularly tall, you're probably looking up at Ahani. Ahani is a very big boy. At 15, Ahani is
okay, never.
6'4".
Oh yeah, never. No,
270 pounds of airbender. He's big.
I was confusing him with someone else. No, yeah, he's taller than Lo Fang. Yeah. So he'll just be like, we have to cover that. He'll point at the blue arrow.
Ooh. Oh,
He doesn't say anything, but he frowns.
He swells. Like, you see him puff up. He does not. And he scowls down at you. I'm not covering my tattoos.
Honey, can I have a word?
I know what you're going to say, and I know it's important to hide.
What?
But
yes, it is important to hide. But it's better to hide who you are so you're alive later to come back to your culture. Please believe me when I say this. I'm like staring him right in his eyes as I say this.
The rest of his life, are you going to ask, do you expect him to hide forever?
If he doesn't do it, he isn't going to live for long.
You just have to do it when you're around dangerous people, Ahani. Once we get to where we're going, you'll be able to, until this matter is settled, you'll be able to stay with people that are trustworthy until you can come out of hiding. Otherwise, you'll be. It's just to keep us safe temporarily. It's not a permanent fix. And all you need to do is wear a hat. Like, we can get you a hat, right? Long sleeves.
If you're seen, there's going to be a trail, and you're going to put yourself and everyone else, all of your other airbender companions, in danger.
He throws his hands up in the air. There's no one even around. Who's going to see us in the air? Who's going to see us here on the mountain?
An air bison can't travel all day and all night. We have to make land. And sometimes we might need to get supplies if we can't gather.
At this point, Lo Fang just kind of like puts up a finger to the rest of the party, and he's going to step in front of Ahani and just very calmly, very matter-of-factly says, if you don't want to cover up your tattoos, that's fine, but travel on your own. I'm not going to risk everyone else's life because you're too proud to cover your tattoos. And then he's just going to walk away.
You don't speak for me, Lo Fang.
Don't ruin his moment, man.
Moment.
That's in character.
What did you say? You were a little quiet.
Fuck
He just
that
leaned.
moment.
He
Like,
just leaned into Camp. Don't ruin this moment, man.
fuck that moment.
It's like. Remember, we just had this conversation about being on each other's side and the same page.
He deserves to
it's
stand
just
on his feet.
It's just to get the kid to comply so that we can safely move them to safely. What is with everyone here not listening like adults? Fuck, I'm the oldest one here. That's probably why. Damn it. I'm probably the only one here that's drank alcohol. Man, nah, that asshole's drank alcohol.
I take a deep breath at a honey. If it comes up, we can talk about it again. Let's all calm down and finish preparing for the journey. I think we still need to get the air bisons.
Yeah, leaving the
Ahani-
cover of night would be great.
Mhm.
Ahani looks at y'all, and he looks at Lopang, and he looks at y'all, and he looks at Lopang, and he says, I don't know. How many air bison do we need, Lofong? Do you have an air bison, Lofong? You have awakened a sassy 15-year-old, Lofong, and he's now reminding you that he's the only one with an air bison.
But also,
Sonora may have one. You don't know yet, but everyone knows Ahani has one, and Ahani's is full grown.
Mm-hmm.
we have a map and know where we're going. So let's cooperate.
He's going to look at you, and he starts to roll his eyes, and he opens his mouth, and Janora is going to reach up and put her hand on his forearm. And it is only because Janora is reaching up and silently asking him not to that Hani is going to take a deep breath, and you are literally going to see you can see the air just swirling around him. He exhales so hard that he lightly lifts himself off the ground and lands gently and goes, you know what? Come on, let's go. And as he leads, so you guys gather up your stuff, but as he leads you out, Wong, he's going to make sure that he takes you by the very large, like the enormous 20-foot mural of the map of the world painted from above that all these air nomads have put together for generations.
But
that
does he know where
up.
the swamp is? That's the problem. Does he know people live there?
It is beautifully detailed.
Oh, fuck.
In fact,
it's fine.
it is so detailed that Kayam, you are surprised to see that it is maybe, you can't tell for certain, but that one very large clump of dark green in the middle, you think that they may actually be able to tell that that is one tree. They haven't marked it as giant tree, but you think that the airbenders in the Eastern Temple know that that's a giant spirit tree, not just part of the forest.
Yeah. And I mean, that's fair. If they're able to, you can fly over it, right? And get close to it enough on your air bison. It's more of the below the tree and below the canopy of the rest of the forest that it's not very friendly to, you just can't land. But yeah.
Yeah. And where they have marked other cities and stuff, they have very carefully and respectfully not marked anything other than the vague area of the foggy swamp. They have given you guys the same privacy respect that they give the sandbenders. They mark a general area, but not where you live. So Ahani, in his sassy little way, has just pointed out that he appreciates all of the adults helping him because he's not prepared to raise all these other children himself. But don't get it twisted. He's helping y'all. Y'all are the ones stuck on the mountain without him. So now that he feels like he has stressed his point that he's a grown-ass man, thank you. Even though he is absolutely a child, thank you for helping him. They're going to lead you out to the air bison stables. There are not really any in the building. but you can see some milling around in the air overhead. There are some out in the fields trying to graze. And the stables are really big. This is a huge stone building. Because you know how big air bison are. Air bison are like 30 feet from head to tail. They stand a good 10 feet at the shoulder. They are the size of a fucking bus. And this is a stable big enough to hold 100 things the size of a bus and all their equipment. And it takes all three of the biggest airbenders. It takes Hani, Janora, and Sami to unlock the door. All right, so what do you want to do? You're at the stable. There are air bison.
Aw. They're really smelly. But also
They are
kind of
smelly.
cute. Yeah, they kind of smell, but that's okay. They're very cute. Which one's yours, Ahani?
Ahani looks around and he heads out towards the farthest part of the stable. Like, if you follow him, it will take you guys a couple minutes to cross the stable to get to the back paddock. Once you do, he will grab one of the air bison whistles. There's a string of them, and all of them are hand carved from different people. Whereas, when you watch the cartoon and you see Aang's whistle, you think that maybe they were a generic whistle. Now that we are here, you're seeing that each and every one of them is hand carved by the airbender who calls his bison. They all have their own tone. The tone to this one is a little bit deep. It's a little bit wood echoey. It is wood, not bone. And the air bison that lands is a fucking unit. It is a chunk. She is a big girl. Uh, and he runs to her. She is pretty dark for an air bison. She is much closer to a brown than a cream. You can barely see her arrow because she's like that brown.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Bear. Actually, not Bear Dog, not Bear Pig, just Bear. Because he was a little kid who thought that was funny. Who ever heard of a bear? Oh my goodness!
Like a platypus bear?
No, like bear.
Half an animal?
You mean like
What
a
what
wolf
even
bear?
half?
A cow bear?
No, just Bear. Her name is just Bear. So
A
funny.
water bear?
Cheetah bear.
Sami loves it. Sami is laughing. He's almost on the ground at this point as he goes, "No, just Bear." Um, and Bear is stoked. She is so glad to see her children. Um, you did not know that air bison could make this very particular noise. It's not really like a purr, but it is a super deep, excellent rumble. And it absolutely causes the ground to vibrate a little bit. You can feel her pleased rumble through your feet as she starts licking at her children.
Aww. It's all so cute. So we're gonna let them all free though, right?
Janora looks at you just in shock. They're already free. The doors only lock to people from keep people out from. They can always come and go. And she's going to reach up and she's going to grab a whistle. And her whistle, she's carved it with little flowers. And when she blows it, it sounds a little bit shriller. And the air bison that comes down is actually significantly younger than her. Most kids get their air bison around the time they're 3 or 4, when they're toddlers, and the air bison is about just big enough to be weaned, big enough that it's not up under its mother all the time. Janora didn't get her air bison until a couple years ago. She just wasn't ready for one. So hers is actually still quite small. No one, a rider could fit on it with a small personal saddle, but it's only like 7, 8 feet long. It only weighs a couple 100 pounds, the size of like a horse. It's a baby. It's so cute. And it thumps directly into her, and the two of them go rolling across the floor. And Sami is jumping for the wall, but he cannot reach his whistle. Lofong, could you hand him his whistle, please?
Yeah. Well, Fong will go up there and grab his whistle off the thing and probably accidentally knock another one down too.
Okay.
But yeah.
So Sami will blow his whistle, and one just the same size as Janora's, they're actually siblings from the same litter, come through. They are a perfectly matched set, and their name are Boo and Boo. They are not. I know. You know, the adults tried to talk them out of it, but their names are Boo and Boo. They are a perfectly matched set of chuckle fucks. They are not smart air bison. Bear is really smart. Boo and Boo are dumb, even for babies. Like, I love them so much. Just imagine, they are the Jorts the cat of baby air bison.
Okay.
Someone has definitely buttered these bison at some point.
No! Don't butter your bison.
Don't butter your bison. But so Lovong, just
yeah.
The whistle that you are holding looks old. Like it looks like nobody's picked it up for a while. Like maybe somebody had finished it and then I don't know, maybe they didn't bond with the bison. It does not look like people touch it like it's been down for a while. What do you want to do? You want to just throw it away or what?
Yeah. Like he'll examine it, like it's carved, like if there's like it's carved, like right.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's fully shaped.
Yeah, so you like examine the woodworking on it, and then he'll casually just blow on it.
All right,
See what happens.
That's very funny because like people who aren't air nomads don't blow bison whistles, and even if they do, bison like look over. Boo and Boo look over at you, and they do a little snort, and Bear looks at you, and she does a big kind of. But then you hear a fourth air bison, like a big one, a old male. He's like a very shaggy dude. He kind of looks more yacky than bisony. Like his hair is long. It started to cord. His horns have gotten a spiral to them from age. He's a big, shonkin unit of a dude. Lands in the far part of the paddock and starts looking around.
Bless you.
And Janora grabs you, like her fingers dig into you. And she goes, "That's the old man of the mountain. He never comes for his whistle. Blow it again."
He's like, he's probably seen this happen before and has seen a non-airbender blow one of those and nothing happened before. So he's a little shocked. So like when Shinora tells him to blow it again, he'll look at it and then he'll blow it again.
And when you do, the tone of this whistle is weird. Like it has a low, sonorous echo to it. You're not sure exactly what it's carved out of, but the material almost feels waxy in your hand. It's very firm. The sound of it is unique, and the old man whips his head around and starts plodding over towards you.
I'll look down at Shinora for a second and then just like kind of watch it approach and like take a step forward.
So Boo and Boo are ridiculously excited. They are thrilled to see the old man. They are underfoot. They are floating around, thumping into every adult in this room. They have knocked over Sami, who thinks it's hilarious. They've knocked over Camilla, who does not think it's hilarious, Mr. Kim. And now she is just clinging to your leg, crying because she's mad that the booze knocked her over.
I don't know how to solve that problem.
Candy.
And the boos are bumping into you, Lo Fong. That's the thing. They are thumping you from behind. The baby bison are trying to push you towards the old man at the mountain. And Janora is pulling you. Everyone is trying to get you to approach this enormous wild air bison.
Yeah, I mean, he's here now. We'll do it.
Okay, I'd like to point out as you get close, he looks at you. It's hard to see his eyes because most of the time the air bisons are very well groomed. They are very well taken care of by their air nomads. They love each other. They love being groomed. He is wild. His hair is almost completely covering his eyes. It's into matted, twisted ropes. He has dreaded hair at this point. Like, he's a wild, like, yak bison at this point. His twisted horns are almost as long as you are tall. He's a big boy that they're pushing you towards, and he's going to lower his enormous head so that the two of you are eye to eye. What do you want to do?
He's gonna give like one last look over to Janora before looking back at the bison, and it's not really sure what to do, so he just he stands there and he looks it in the eye. Like he's not backing down, he's not being threatening, he's just hey.
Sami is squealing with excitement. He is going to run directly over to you and grab you by the wrist and go, no, like this. And he grabs your wrist and he whacks it directly up against the big, wet nose of this giant bison.
Well, I guess that's where my hand is now. I mean, he's not going to pull it away. Like, he doesn't know what to do.
Cool. So as Sami steps back and you stand there and you meet its eye, I don't know, maybe you felt something like this before. I don't know if you've ever been in love, and not even romantic love, just the kind of immediate, you look at something and love. You know that this thing loves you and that you love it. I don't know if you've ever felt that before. I hate to tell you what you feel now, but that's certainly how it feels for you. This air bison loves you. You are its person.
And like Lo Fong gets it. Like, it's not, there's only been like one connection like that he's ever had with anything before. So like he recognizes it, and like there's like an actual like smile that breaks out on his face as he like kind of steps a little bit closer and like starts scratching it like right above its nose.
Okay. Ahani walks up behind you and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he squeezes it, and it's like a man-to-man, good job, bro. Like, he's trying.
Yeah.
He has always been the younger person on the receiving end of this. He's never had to be the adult saying good job, but in this, he's the most experienced air bison wrangler possibly in the world, as far as he knows. Until you guys know if there are other survivors, you have to consider Ahani to be the most experienced air bison wrangler and airbender left on the planet.
Yep.
And he looks at you and he says, all right, maybe you don't need me. I guess I got to show you how to get a saddle on. Come with me. The good news is you guys are now 4 frickin' bison deep. You started this day with no bison. You now have 4 bison. You have enough bison with those 2 little ones and these 2 large ones that you could technically, if people do not see the riders, you could be mistaken as a traveling herd. You are not necessarily going to be identified as riders on bison. So that's good. You now have some cover so long as you're not close enough that people can see that all of these bison have
saddles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. So there you go. Nice, right?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'll take it.
When Ahani says maybe you don't need me, I kind of like lean over. I'm just kind of like muttering like to myself, like whoever's near me. I'm glad he said it, or else I was going to, but now it's more complicated. Now we might need to change our plan, and there's just like a muttering of like what are the next plans basically with this sudden change in development.
This is all very riveting.
Lo Fong, for one, is very confused, but sometimes a big old bison just likes you for some reason, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Old bison.
Yeah.
Big friend.
The largest of the large and the smelliest of the smell.
Oh yeah, no,
sure.
He is rank. He has been in the mountains for years. He's musty.
I'm gonna ride with Ahani, that's for sure.
Like I do have like my arms crossed and be like, so what is the plan? Are we gonna do an escort? Are we gonna split?
I don't think splitting the party is a great idea. I think traveling together
hasn't stopped us before.
Well, Ahani made it very clear that he knows where he's going.
Just because he knows where he's going doesn't mean that he can get inside. You're gonna need me to get inside.
All right.
And I'd personally like to make sure that they make it there safely.
Yeah.
So the kids are getting the bison saddled up. They're getting everything packed up while you guys are discussing this. The good news is, regardless of what you guys have planned, I'm just going to let you know. Let me just take some stress off your plate that regardless of what y'all think is happening, Ahani has no plans of leaving these children. And as long as you have the children, he will be traveling with you. Mm-hmm. Now, how he behaves himself when you guys get to cities and stuff, I can make no promises. That's a 15-year-old boy. You think with me being the GM, I would be in charge? I'm not. He's a 15-year-old boy. He's in charge of himself. He does what he's going to do, and I look at my brain and I go, Jesus fucking Christ, Ahani. Okay? So none of us have any control over
this
Ahani,
fictional child has
y'all.
Complete control over you. Understandable. Sorry.
Like I know 15-year-olds. So as long as we all have an understanding that he's going to do what he's going to do, but he will try to do what's best for the children, I'm sure we'll all have a perfectly pleasant, no conflict at all travel. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful.
None whatsoever.
That was only 15, 20 years ago. I think I could remember. No, 22 years ago. Hold on. Like math. I forgot. I'm old.
Let's not feel old.
Anyway, yeah. So getting everybody together, make sure we got all of our bags. I'm definitely going to volunteer to ride with Ahani for sure, just because I don't know, I have great eyesight, but
the stench
I have a very sensitive nose, and also because he does have a slight fear of heights, would rather ride with the kid that knows what he's doing.
That's also very fair. Lo Fong has no idea how to drive one of these things.
Plus, I have the map. I have the map.
This is going to be a learning experience for Lo Fong.
I think I already know what the answer is going to be, But Kim Ji-woon, which bison do you get on? The clean one?
Listen, Kim Ji-woon has picked his sides, and until further notice, given that like nobody has declared victory or surrender in this unofficial Cold War, and he's sticking with his ally.
He's sticking to what?
He's sticking with his ally.
Oh,
He believes in Ahani.
Okay.
Well, both of these,
it's not that I don't
both of these
believe
young men, like
in Ahani.
apparently appear to share some beliefs about the way the world should work. And
regardless, since Kim Ji-woon gets on Bear, I'll hang out with Lo Fong.
I'm the old man.
On the old man. I've smelled just as bad, so I'm not.
So have I.
It does not phase Wong.
Yeah, the two of us have been there.
Okay. So
like doesn't smell that bad, right?
Oh no, he
Lo Fong?
Absolutely smells that.
Oh
bad.
no, I'm talking to Lo Fong.
Oh no, Lo Fong. Lo Fong does not smell that bad right now.
No, I'm talking to Lo Fong about the old man.
Oh no, Lo Fong doesn't care.
Yeah, like it's not that bad, right? Like
no,
I didn't think so.
I mean, Lo Fong's not going to say that he's used to smelling death everywhere, so this is better. But
also, I'm worried about overloading. I know Bear's big, but
yeah,
it's still heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So Sami is going to come running up to the two of you excitedly. Just he and Boo are dragging an enormous blanket with them. It's the giant blankets that they use to line the inside of the big sled, the saddles, sled saddles that you transfer multiple people in. And Sami goes, "I'm riding with you two." And he gets close to the old man. He goes, "Oh, he smells awful." In the super excited tone that little boys use when something smells like absolute garbage. He's like, "Oh, this is terrible." He's stoked. Okay. So, oh my goodness. What did my thing do? I fixed it. So, you guys can go ahead, get the old man loaded up. So we now have the party split onto two sets of bison. Ahani and Bear will be taking Kayam, Kim, Bao, Camilla. The old man will be taking Lo Fong, Wong, Sami. Janora will be riding her Casper as a single rider so that she can move between the two big bison. And Sami's little Casper will be circling the old man. This is the way that you guys will be traveling. Unless something happens, you can assume that you will typically, anytime you're like, "Ooh, I got to get on or off the bison," unless you tell me otherwise, assume that this is how the party will move on the bison.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yes.
Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that everything's ready, you guys know where everything is. You've got your bison. Is there anything you want to collect? Is there anything you want to do left here in the air temple before you take off?
I think that's more of a question for the airbenders than for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they have anything they want to do before we leave?
They do, actually. There is, once you guys get the bison settled in, you're going to let them settle, let the old man get used to having a saddle on. So you get them saddled up, you leave them to graze in the pasture with the two boos, let the old man get used to these active little youngsters thumping into him with excitement. And you follow the kids up through a trail. It's not the same patch of forest. There's too much land breaking it, but it is still absolutely a spirit forest. And the spirits on this side have completely fled. You can just feel
They're just gone.
that they're gone. But the path itself is still exceedingly beautiful. It twists and winds up towards one of the higher peaks. And at the top of that peak, there are wind leaves. If you watch The Legend of Korra, you have seen them. It is, in fact, the exact same set that the air acolytes found and had repaired and brought to Airbender Island for Tenzin and his family.
Mm-hmm.
This is the original set in its original setting where it belongs at the Eastern Air Temple. You are seeing it as it was designed almost 1,000 years ago. They are ancient. They are put where they are supposed to be. They are beautiful. Again, standing at the edge of the world. You know, the Eastern Air Temple is the farthest spot of land on the world. You are literally at the edge. There's nothing left but ocean until it wraps all the way around to the Fire Nation again. And standing at the edge there, you watch all of them. Camilla wiggles to get down. Mr. Kim, you need to let her down. And Ahani will lead all of them through those leaves one last time. You will get to watch the airbenders stand at the cliff at the edge of the world and breathe their way and dance very gently, all of them. Their movements are perfect. They are quiet. They are at peace as they weave their way in and out of these spinning pieces of wood, appearing and appearing behind them until they come out the other side. All of them will put their hands together, take a deep breath in, breathe out, and turn to go. The kids are ready.
Okay. Well, then I suggest we move.
Road trip. I mean, air trip. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So as you guys head back down to the temple, you're gonna get about halfway there, and before you can get all the way, Ahani's gonna reach up and he's just gonna put his hand on your shoulder, Wong. He's gonna give it a quick squeeze, and it'll be like, "Hold on, you guys keep going. I will meet you there." And he's gonna bust away to the temple. You guys go ahead, head to the stable, and he does catch up with you in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Mhm.
And when he does, he has a length of blue cloth. Yes, it's technically airbender blue, but airbender blue and waterbender blue, unless you really know the difference, look the same, right? It's long enough that if he ties it over his head as a scarf, you cannot see the entirety of his tattoos. He will have to grow his hair out. He really will.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, it's a compromise. He's willing to put on a do-rag when you guys land. He's not saying anything because he's a teenage boy.
Oh yeah,
He's
he
not
can't
gonna
admit
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But he lets you guys see that he's got his do-rag in his pocket as he carefully puts the kids on all the bison, hands Sami up to you guys, doesn't say anything, just gives you guys the "here's my kid, obviously I trust you" look, and gets up on Bear. And he goes, "Sami, show him how to get in the air." And he, yip, yip, up Bear goes. Janora hops on Boo. She goes, yip, yip. Boo goes up. And Sami looks right at you, Lofong, and he goes, "Okay, now it's not yup, yup, and it's not yep, yep. It is yip, yip." He's super serious when he's explaining this to you. Are you ready to go, Lofong?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah, he'll just like, the whole situation's a little absurd to him in his head for a moment. So he just takes like a couple seconds to think about how absurd this is to him that he's about to do this. And then he does the thing with the leather straps and says yip yip.
All right. And the old man he turns his head like he cannot believe. No one has said yip yip to him in a really long time. Like, he can't believe that, but he knows his command, and it's a rough start at first. He gallops, and it's I don't know if any of you have ever been on an air bison trying to get air, but the older ones tend to get a running start. They tend to gallop 2 or 3 times. They don't always jump straight up like the excited little ones. And he galumps. It's a stomp that rattles the bones twice before he jumps, and his tail hits the ground hard enough that it vibrates up his body. You can feel the power of this thing. And never before have you really understood exactly the strength that these air nomads control. These things are big. They don't have to do shit that they don't want to do. And they listen to these children just because of the strength of the bond that you are feeling with them. And he takes to the air with you.
When Ahani when he left and came back with the scarf, I don't say anything, but I do. There is a visible sigh of relief and like body relaxes that he has made some kind of compromise.
Okay. Awesome. So, Wong, how are you feeling? You got a 5-year-old and someone who's never driven an air bison before. You on the stinkiest bison known to man, with a driver with no license and a co-pilot with no permit.
Listen, Wong jumps from roof to roof for fun. This is exhilarating, and I'm not that worried. I think I have definitely tied myself on just in case, because I've never been on an air bison before, so this is just like a day one situation until Lo Fong.
Oh yeah,
knows
Lo
what he's
Fong
doing.
Lo Fong is strapped in.
Because we can't like catch ourselves gliding like the airbenders can, so we're taking
Cannot.
precautions.
Mhm.
You can at least bend. You can at least bend something. I can't bend anything.
I can't bend shit.
We don't know if that wound bends anything.
I don't bend
Yes,
at
that
all.
was out. Yes, I'm saying that out of character.
That's okay. But on his face, he doesn't look super concerned or terrified or anything of heights. So
Yeah.
just common sense so we don't fall.
Yes.
That's good. And the good news is that Sami is actually doing a pretty good job. He has settled himself, Lo Fong, like right in front of you. He's not in your lap because he doesn't have to be that close. But he is right in front of you, kneeling so that he's got the reins also, and he's showing you. He's a little rough and overexcited, but he is essentially doing a very good job of showing you how to drive. He's doing the fine controls and letting you do the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have it within a turn or two. You guys are paired. You're great at it. Mr. Kim, how you feel about riding your very first air bison?
This
I know
this better be fine. I got this small child here, and it is coming to mind that Ahani is younger than me, and all of a sudden that's a little unreassuring. But it's fine. I can just choose not to think about that. That's how this works. And it's fine. In fact, now that I willfully adjust my thinking, this is a master airbender here on his bison. We're fine. This is fine.
Everything is fine.
Okay.
Air is awfully thin up here. I couldn't even really strong firebenders can sometimes if you're willing to not get out of bed for the next week, you can direct yourself in the air. But man, the air is thin up here. I don't even know if I get a spark. How far down is that? Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, don't.
No,
I
no.
should look down. I'd be like, you don't want to do that. It's just straight ahead. Look at my face. Look at Bal's face. Look at the back of Ahani. You don't want to do that, Mr. Woon.
He will.
Right. So about that, as we're like in the air and like having some turbulence, our good friend Ahani is making compromises for her safety. Now that it's just us and less hostile, let's talk about the compromises we need you to make for our safety. You and Bao both.
His eyes narrow a little bit.
When
But he's not saying anything.
When we're in public, we cannot address you as Kim Ji-woon, and you cannot refer to yourself in the third person by your full name. You will put us all in danger. Do you understand that?
I think you don't believe me when I tell you that my family has roots in the Earth Kingdom. I think you don't believe me when I say I've got people.
Right. It's not that I don't believe you. I just don't trust them. How's that sound? I don't trust that people who are being invaded and genocided and are going to care. It's not that I don't trust you. I do trust you. I trust in your confidence. I myself am a very confident person. I don't trust everyone else around us. And I just think it is a good idea that we have a second name for you for when we're just in public. Because the less attention, the better, right? And when your name is useful, then we'll use it. I appreciate you and your existence and what it can bring us. But right now, when the nation is on our tails, literally, probably within the next 12 hours, we need to have a low profile. And you don't want me coming up with a name.
Zuko. And then he says like nothing. He says like nothing else as he looks away.
Sounds great. How about because it's still very Fire Nation-y. How about
I know exactly what I look like when you're
Yeah.
picking a fake name. You don't try and lie your way past your face. It makes people ask questions.
I was just gonna come up with an anagram of your name and call you like Nuki G or Unji Mick. Mick is actually really good. We should just call you Mick. How's that sound? Bao, how does that sound?
I hope you understand that I am trying very hard not to be offended.
I know you're trying very
My
hard.
name means a great deal to me. It is the only thing my grandfather could give to me. And I love my grandfather very much. Do not violate that name.
All right. No violation intended. Let's give new meaning to your name as we start this journey then. Zuko.
My family began as criminals. And if that's what I am now,
what?
It's a good circle to come around to.
Yeah, there you go. See? Bao, we can just call you Louie, right? Lou? We'll just call you Lou. Sound good?
Bao is miserably curled up in the middle of the saddle, you two are doing a great job pretending not to be scared of heights. Bao is not. You know what? This has been a hell of a week. He participated in a genocide when he thought he was going out on a training exercise, and he has had his ass whooped by his enemies. He has had his ass whooped by his allies. He has had his ass whooped by his commanding officer, and now he's hurtling through the sky on a fucking air bison. And you know what? Bao's not having a good day. He's just got his head down on his knees, and he just gives you a yeah, whatever.
Bao's got the right idea. I'm gonna give Bao my last plum.
He will reach out and he will take the plum with a shaking hand. And he's not going to eat it. He's just going to grip it really tight and just hold it. This is now his emotional support plum.
It has a smiley face drawn on it. So, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of, as we're flying, I'll start get out some of the produce, and I will start get out my little feather quill, and I'll start like drawing faces on these as to keep myself occupied as we fly into the sunset.
Good. Go ahead and hand one to the babies real quick, because Camilla is in the thing with you and Mr. Kim. So if you hand her one, she will put a lopsided, ugly face. Like, it will be terrible. Go ahead and let that baby make you an ugly puppet.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Here, you are doing such a great job, Camilla. Thank you so much. She will be the hero of my next epic.
Also, I hope, just so you know, the baby has taken a bite out of like 3 of your actors.
That's fine.
Somebody should really watch that baby. And on that note, with everybody flying off into the sunset, let's go ahead and do our questions and wrap up for this week. So,
oh man, what a fucking day!
What a
I know.
We're
Y'all got so much
alive.
done and nobody died. Did some emotional
Nobody
shit.
died.
Super proud of y'all.
Well, I don't know about that. Definitely people not in our group died by angry airbender.
Well, yeah.
They died last week or the week before. Nobody
finished them
died
off
today.
At the beginning of the session.
Yes.
Technically. All right. So, did you guys learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world today?
They are bisons for free.
Teenagers are assholes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something new that we learned, but Lo Fong learned that apparently non-airbenders can get an air bison to bond with them.
So yes, we all.
So yes, I have learned something.
Weird to say. I think Kim June had found sudden common ground with the Hani in in a singular, possibly suicidal, prideful streak.
Oh yeah, Kim Ji Woon and Ahani are like made for each other. It's amazing. They are best bros.
They could be. It'll be cute. Did you guys stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I feel like it counts. Like we're on Bison. We're out. That was being on this island with no way out was a problem, and now that is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's like we're finally wrapping up the Fire Nation problem at Chime.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Cool.
And did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
I'm still at center.
That second thing.
Technically not me, but the spirit was kind of guided towards center.
Yes, there you go. You guys guided a spirit back towards balance. You all get a point for that.
Wow.
Because you all participated in that. If nothing else, like for real, you do not know. I was prepared for y'all to fuck up, and I had a dark spirit ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Listen, we ain't about to fuck with spirits. If we saw something, no, we didn't.
Nope.
Pamela James don't know Jack.
I saw nothing.
We didn't
all right,
shit.
let's go ahead and look at the individual questions for your playbooks. Let's go ahead and start with Kayam, because you're on top.
Yeah, so I have, before even that, I have some of my legacy of excellence that I need to strike out, or maybe it depends on what. One's retroactively. Would y'all say the tree thing did take down? Did I take down a dangerous threat all on my own with my willow last time?
Yes, you were
Okay.
the first person to attack, and you cleared about
Gotcha.
half the board.
All right, and for this time around, did I stop a fight with calm words between my companions?
I think it was more of a stalemate because we're
Yeah.
still in this Cold
Alright,
War
alright,
situation.
All right,
They
and
weren't,
now
they weren't about to swing on each other, but
it was
you-
getting there. Yeah,
you
yeah.
You're
you-
helping.
I think you
I'm
stopped.
helping.
I think you stopped sniping.
Yes,
You stopped sniping.
gotcha.
It
And I've
is a-
actually,
We're only
Yeah.
at this pause for the airbenders and some personal safety.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Haven't stopped it, just paused it. Gotcha.
Correct.
And then the actual growth question is, hold on, I need to stop with the edit. Where did it go? Hello, I'm blind. Where did the growth question go on here? Oh, I think I just need to save, update, and then it'll come back. Okay.
yeah.
That's what it was. I was on the edit. Okay, and then my growth question is, at the end of this each, did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong, or that you should have listened to someone you ignored? No. Definitely did not admit that I was wrong about anything today, and there was no
Nope.
one here. Yeah, no. I again, confidently in the right for most of the time. Or believed so anyway. But yeah, so that's actually like 4 growth for me. So that's cool. I'm done.
All right, and Mr. Kim, let's do your growth question.
Did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effects on the world and others? This is going to sound a little strange, but like a thing that stuck for like Kim particularly was that those air nomads were able to like express kindness towards the Fire Nation dead in spite of everything. That like what this did to them has not warped them, and furthermore, it is it has not hardened them against the Fire Nation's people. They are who they were raised to be, and continue to be that still. And even at our worst, we couldn't take that from them.
That's a great thing to learn about your nation. I buy it. Let's go. Take that point. All right, Casey,
Perfect.
What about you? What about Lopong?
All right. So I actually have a few things. So first, I think I was finally able to fill in my second connection on my sheet. I see Kim Ji-woon as lacking control. Maybe I can help hone them at least a little bit.
There we go.
Secondly, I have this making amends thing. Once per session, when you have tried your best to prove that you are a different, better person now through your actions, and I'd say trying to get airbender children away from a genocide probably counts. I get to roll with some +1s, and the only +1 I have is am I at my center? So I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. 2d6 +1. Cool. That's an 8, so I can do a thing. So I'll take care of that later. And then my growth question is: did you try to make amends for past mistakes or prove you're a different person now? I feel like I've been answering yes for the same reason every session, so I'm just going to say no this week because it's just basically an extension of the same thing we've been doing. Nothing's changed. So.
Okay. All right, how about that? All right, Anne, Wong, how you feeling there? Growth question.
Did you get a friend to join in or to approve one of your bad habits? No, not this session.
No, your bad habit was fighting with teenagers.
That's just
Nobody
called
wins
being
when
an
you fight
older
with
brother. That's
Look,
just being an older brother.
as the parent of a teenager, I'm just gonna let you all know right now. Nobody wins when you fight with teenagers. The teenager don't win. You don't win. Nobody wins. Everybody loses.
Yep. Everyone
loses. Yep.
loses.
Okay,
Down to
I'm
my
done
level
staring
again.
off into the distance,
Box.
whispering in horror. I love you, Offspring. In case next time you're watching this, because I know you watch this on demand. I love you. Okay, so and wait, is that everybody? Did everyone do their questions?
Yeah, I think that's
Nice.
everybody.
And boom, it is exactly 9 o'clock. So we have
Hot
wrapped this
damn.
up so perfectly.
Perfect timing.
Everybody, thank you for joining us this week. We will not be here next week because I'm having oral surgery on Thursday. I mean, I could try, but it would be such a mess. I'd just be sitting here just drooling on this and that. No one wants that. So we'll see you again the week after. But
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do our outros.
Yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming and showing up. As always, I am Valdrianth, and this is my little channel. There's some stuff in the works. In fact, next Wednesday is when you will find me again here on the channel because I am premiering my Monster of the Week campaign called Dante's Butte, where a town that used to be a gold mining town that opened a gate to hell accidentally is now a tourist attraction. The tourist attraction is not the gate to hell, but there's some mysterious things going on. There's people going missing, and with a town full of creatures that just kidnap things as their nature, the possibilities are endless. Other than that, you can find me on Thursday. Next Thursday is the finale of our quietest game over at Wandering DM called Hill Country Horror. I am playing a little lesbian former FLDS member who is like, we are definitely in a horror movie because she thinks she knows everything because she read one Stephen King novel. Like, she's on the second one. She read The Mist. She's on The Stand. So, like, it's like, I know all of these tropes. I will be the final girl. She will not be the final girl. Other than that, I will get this link coming up soon, but I still have room in my Extra Life games. There's plenty of room. In fact, we're at a point where we can now sign up for 2 games if anyone's interested in playing more. We have room, I believe, in Paranoia, Arnica's game, the SCP game, Ballad of Conquerors. I think there's one left in Magical Kitties in Mayor's game as well. There's a couple of things. I will put the link if you are interested in playing. We are raising some money to save and heal some kids. But yeah, please join that. I could use some people. So yeah, that's me. Everyone else, what you doing in the next week? What's happening? Casey.
I mean, I don't have much going on internet wise in the next week. I will be tomorrow night. I will be on Clockwork Productions with more Blood on the Clock Tower social deduction gaming. And then mostly a bunch of local stuff. I'm in the pit orchestra for a production of Little Women coming up here in Tennessee. So, that'll be fun. Yep. That's it for me.
My turn. Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter, Archmage of Dice. My games right now are on hold until October, but on October 8th, we will have the penultimate episode of the Printweaver Journey game that I'm running over on Friends Who Roll Dice. And also, that's at 1 p.m. Eastern, and on October 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern, there will be the premiere of Season 2 of Horizon Call, a D&D 5e nautical game run in the homebrew world of Damaris over on the Eva Sarich channel. Friends Who Roll Dice is also setting up a 24-hour Extra Life live stream on that first Saturday of November, and we're looking for a couple game masters. So please go check out Friends Who Roll Dice's Twitter and sign up and throw your hat in the ring. Also keep an eye on the Twitter, because after we get the GMs all signed up, we will also have a player call. So hell yeah, if you want to help raise money for our game or Val's game, just because of timing, please sign up for all the games. I'm running a cat game, and it's going to be cute. So
You're
let's
actually
go.
full now. I just looked at the sheet.
I just looked at it. I was like, yeah.
You're
I get
full
to-
now.
I get to have 5 rambunctious kittens. And that's it.
Yeah, and that is me. I have been Kim Ji-woon every Friday, but this next one at about this time, you can come back here to see me be Kim Ji-woon. But from now on and elsewhere, follow me on Twitter at Jossadison. That's JOSADISON. And even on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shinobi, where here and there I just might play some video games for your entertainment and even edification.
Not our edification. Oh shit. Okay, and I've been Arnica. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you stopping by. While we just finished up Dark Rites and Other Forms of Exploitation last night as our season finale, you can always find it on video on demand on the Girls Run These Worlds YouTube channel. As well as I open casting next Thursday. It'll be the last thing I do before I go down for my surgery. I will hit send on the open casting for my game. Wish We Weren't Here, our terrible, no, horrible, no good, very bad road trip to save the universe. Casting opens on my Twitter, Arnica X Ross, next Thursday. I'd love to have you play. Also, as Val pointed out, I still have some slots in my SCP game for Extra Life. Yo, Site 207, we're either going to have a containment breach is going to be wild, or the mobile task force, the fanboys, will be trailing Maine's most famous anomalous person, author Stephen King. One of those two things will happen. It's up to you guys. Come join us.
All right, friends, and with that, we're gonna go say hello to our friends over at Roll for Chaos. They're playing some tabletop RPGs, probably something that Ty wrote.
Hell yeah.
We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.